Hello, welcome to this month's class, A Curious Little Mermaid.
Welcome to OnlinePilatesClasses.com, the most supportive Pilates-loving community across the globe. Enjoy new weekly classes from our amazing teachers. Download the OnlinePilatesClasses.com app today.
Hello, I'm Rachel Piper. Welcome to this month's theme, A Curious Little Mermaid, where we will be exploring how to create space and strength in our side waist. I keep thinking, like, am I the only one who, when they try and stack their legs, immediately feels like they either sink or they just fall over? And so that's the basis of this month's theme. How can we find space between the top of the hip and the bottom rib in different body shapes to create some extra strength and maybe even some flexibility so that we can do our side bending with a little bit more ease? Now you might be thinking stacking the legs is a little bit different than working the side waist, and that is correct. So we will be working on some flexibility and strength in the legs as well, so that we can potentially come to from maybe a Z sit, or maybe even when you do some of your mermaid work, you have to be in crisscross applesauce position, to how do I get close to stacking the legs without caving over? And that can be different side to side. So there's definitely some asymmetrical work that we can be doing. So even as I stack my legs here, I either have to hold myself here or hold myself up here. It's very difficult for me to be in this position. So I want you to think, how curious can you be? Instead of just tossing an exercise out because you can't stack the legs, how can you change your position to still be as tall as possible and create that space in your side waist? So you'll hear me say it a lot. Now, if you have a springboard and you want to do this workout, you will need a push-through bar. This part of the system is so sturdy. It's going to be like our rock for a good portion of class. It's going to sort of be that steady piece for us so that we can work, feel confident holding it, and we can work our side waist and really try and get ourselves into position and explore. So let's start getting curious right now. Come up for a version of leg stretches. We'll do front and side using our sturdy piece right here. Square yourself up and then bring one leg forward, just like you would for your ballet stretches or your leg stretches. This leg can be in either parallel or a Pilates V position. Then start your spine stretch by tucking the chin and coming down. Make sure that you have your thumb opposite your fingers. Stretch and come back up. Nothing overly to think about right that second. Let's do another one just like that, however you want to, so you can feel confident and comfortable using the push-through bar like this. And then come up. Now I want you to think about that space in your side waist. How can we keep that length for as long as possible? So tuck the chin, maybe use your inhale or your exhale to create that space. Reach your waistband back. Stretch through, it doesn't matter how far you go. Then start reaching the waistband up, lift up through the side waist to stack back up. 2 more just like that. We'll do 5 total, and you get to play with it. Everybody's range is different, so if your range is a little bit smaller, you'll just do like a couple of extras. And if your range is, a lot more than mine, then you might not do as many. And stack back up. Bring the leg around and let's do the other side. So here's some of that asymmetrical work that I was just talking about. Bring that leg forward and let's just observe in our own bodies. So first to do whatever you need to, just kind of get the lay of the land here. Figure out how things are feeling in your body without overly correcting yourself. That's part of being curious. Like, it's a what if situation. What if I didn't worry so much about things the first rep And then as I went along, I tried to just tidy things up a little bit. All right, see how much space you can create and keep. Stretch, pull the hip back. The leg that's forward, you want to pull that hip back so you keep them nice and straight and lift back up. We have 2 more. Whew, what does it feel like on this side versus the other side? Does it feel a little shakier? Does one side feel like it could definitely use a little more stretch? Is it a little bit more of a balance challenge? Like, these are all things we need to think about because they do play into how we sit in our mermaid. Come up, bring that leg over. Then we'll do our side variation. Wherever you need to be to sort of hold this and be able to press it down, just like our regular mermaid, except for the leg that is closest to the push-through bar will come to the front, so you have a little bit of that same angle. If you want to scoot back a little bit, you can scoot back a little bit. All right, there we go. Square the hips and the shoulders. We are going up and over. We aren't trying to rotate. So let's just see what it feels like for our first 2. Start to press this down, find the muscles on your back, then lift up and over. See if you can get a stretch in the leg, and then stack back up. One more like that. Might be a little bit of a balance challenge. And back up. Now let's see what happens. Let's get a little curious. Keep some space here, especially on the side that you're going over into. Since this leg is up, it's going to want to decrease that space. So see if you can use some breath on the next few. See what you can do to reach the head up and over. Keep that space, but still get that stretch and come straight back up. 2 more. Play around. Breath. Maybe with your leg, maybe with your hip. And back up. 1 more just like that. Lift up and over. And stack back up. And we have to do that on the other side. So let's turn around. Let's just observe the differences side to side. Get yourself lined up. I like to be about arm's length away on this one and make sure I'm steady before I walk that foot up. And again, if you want to move your knee back a little bit so you get a little bit more of an angle, that's okay. Little external rotation of this leg may help you square up your shoulders and your hips. Find the muscles on your back, bring the other arm up. 2 where we just explore the range. If you can't go very far because you feel like you're going to fall over, that's okay. I've been playing around with this for a couple weeks now to practice for this particular class. So you have all month. You get better each time. See where you can find some space and keep it. Lift the head up and over. Keep that space and stack back up. Maybe the next one you focus on ensuring that you aren't rotating at all, but keeping that nice up and over lateral flexion. Press down, find the muscles on your back. Lift up and over and stack back up. All right, we have 1 more. Focus on maybe something different. Remember, this is all about being curious, and curious means you need time to think. That's why this is going just a little bit slower here at the beginning. And stack back up. Pull this leg in and we'll go into mermaid. So without the leg, let's see how it feels on both sides. Do a little press down and lift up. Maybe you need to scoot forward a little bit to see how tall you can get from your knees all the way to the top of your head. Create some space here. Press down and up 3 times. Find the muscles on your back. Hold that steady. Lift up the opposite arm. We just played around with this. How much space can you keep as you go up and over? And what does it feel like now that you have both legs down? Reach down through the legs. Reach through the knees. Lift up through the top of the head. And back up. 1 more, then we'll switch and do the other side. Press down, find the muscles on your back, reach up and over, and stack back up. Turn around,